Number 231 from Indicator, and the second movie from my Hammer Volume 6 set is Captain Clegg. Now this is the one movie that I had heard of before. I've heard it in passing as being a rather good Hammer movie, and I was looking forward to it, of course, anchored by Peter Cushing, which is always a wonderful sight to know that he's in a movie. And this is a tale that's very different from what I expected. We open up to a pirate ship. We get to hear the voice of Captain Clegg, who is setting a man a judgment for a crime that he's committed. His crime, or his punishment, is to have his ears cut, his tongue cut out, and be abandoned on a desert island to just die. And then we kind of jump to this small, quaint coastside village where these people are just living their lives. They're led by a Reverend Bliss, who is played by Cushing, and we have this naval force who seems to be traipsing through the land. And this kind of puts everybody at edge. And at first you're kind of wondering why they're there and what's going on, and it turns out that this town is full of alcohol smugglers. Even the Reverend is involved, and they're making some ill-gotten gains by doing this, which is obviously illegal at the time. Then we're introduced to our kind of naval captain, Collier, who is a tenacious detective individual who is looking to figure out what the hell's going on in here and how he can stop it. And he very rightly suspects that a lot of the townspeople are involved with this. And you get this first half of the movie where they're trying to evade each other. You know, the townspeople feel as if they're almost in a comedic kind of movie, because they're trying to outwit the naval guys. They're trying to show them one thing and then do something else, and it's really kind of fun. But of course there's also been a death as well at the hand of these weird creatures of the night, these skeletons riding skeletal horses as well, and they have frightened someone to death. At the heart of this, the person that they frightened to death happened to be a snitch who was telling the naval officers all about the ill-gotten gains that this town was up to. And along with Peter Cushing and some of the other brilliant performances like Patrick Allen as Captain Collier, we get Oliver Reed in a smaller role as well. Not as impressive as some of his other Hammer roles, but still a fun one nonetheless. And at the heart of this movie there is a somewhat mystery, which I'm reluctant to really get into too much. But let's just be said that this movie goes in places where, yes, it felt a little bit obvious early on, but I really enjoyed it. There are plenty of action sequences in this which are really fun, particularly involving the mulatto, the person that was mutilated at the start of this one, who keeps coming back into the storyline, and because his inability to speak or communicate, he's just a kind of hulking behemoth who causes destruction whenever he appears, and I kind of like that character. I loved the idea of scarecrows and how they're used within the movie, and particularly the night creatures themselves, which were really inventive, really kind of fun, and a nice addition to the storyline. The production values are wonderful. You get Yvonne Romain as a wonderful love interest for Oliver Reed's character as well, and you get a real sense of community round about here. Some people are happy to be parts of it, some people want a little bit more than what they currently have, and they're willing to shake the tree to try and get it. It's the real play between Cushing and Allen's characters, though, the Reverend and the Captain, who seemingly are trying to get to the same kind of result, almost, but behind the facade of trying to get to that same result, they're at opposite ends of the spectrum and are kind of battling against each other, which is really kind of fun and engaging, watching these characters trying to outsmart each other in certain fashions. It's really kind of wonderful. That's what I liked most about the movie, the performances of these two characters and how their interplay really added to the movie itself. Really fun movie. Really fantastic finale, great twists and turns along the way. I loved a lot of how this movie looked, particularly how they set up certain stages. There's a moment with scarecrows and a kind of lighthouse or house where they're stashing some of their alcohol. How those scenes play out are just wonderfully staged, and this was a real treat of a movie. I loved Captain Clegg. I thought it was one of the better Hammer movies that I've seen so far out of all the sets, and was a real joy to watch. Can't wait to go back and check it out again. I'd love to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comment box below, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.